Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I was looking at my calendar a few days ago because I'm doing some traveling very soon, which I'm very excited about. And I noticed that we are at the end of September, which means October is coming up. Sister spooky month, favorite time of the entire year, literally cannot wait. But that also means that my anniversary of the first time that I ever put on makeup is coming up in a few days. And oh my God, I am literally so excited. It is about to be our 3-year sisterversary. I literally cannot believe this has been my job for 3 years now. I pinch myself every single day and it's literally so cool. And I thought for our 3-year anniversary, we should do something very fun and good and fresh and special. I'm working on one other video right now that you guys will see in a few short weeks, but it required me to go way back in time and open up the history books on both my Instagram and my YouTube channel. And through doing this, I came across my first ever YouTube video, which I literally have erased from my mind. If you've been a longtime subscriber, you would know that I have changed drastically. So for today's video, I want to react to this video and see what has changed. I know I've gotten way more comfortable on camera. My talking speed is probably multiplied by literally a million at this point. And I also would love to try to recreate the look and kind of modernize it and see how I would do the same exact look in today's makeup skills. I am praying that my makeup has gotten way better. Oh yeah, James 2016 Sharpie eyebrows. There's no way I could even lose at this. Foolproof plan. So without further ado, let's pull up the first ever video and take a trip down memory lane. Okay, this video is titled Blue Brown Serpent. Before I even finish that sentence, literally why? Makeup tutorial from J. Charles Beauty. If you've been around since day one, that was my original Instagram name before I got James Charles. This has 583,000 views. Oh, not bad. And it was posted 2 years ago. I don't want to click on this. Okay. Oh Lord, here we go. Okay, pause. 8 seconds in and I'm already horrified. I forgot that oh my God. Okay. Okay, before I had this really beautiful, good and fresh hair that I love, I used to have a man bun and it was bad. Disgusting and horrible, and cutting that off was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. So in this video, I am rocking gray man bun, which was a bad choice. Hi guys, my name is James. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a 16-year-old makeup artist from New York and I run the Instagram page J. Charles Beauty. Lately, sisters was not a thing yet either. This is so weird. Oh my God. I'm talking so slow. Hi guys, my name is James. I'm a 16-year-old makeup artist from New York and I run the Instagram page J. Charles Beauty. I don't even think I could talk like that now if I tried for an entire video. Literally 150% of my comments have been, so here I am on YouTube, Queen of editing, my camera, with my lights, with a whole lot of makeup in front of me. Today I did this blue, brown, and green trio chrome look. I'm gonna call it Serpent, and if you guys— First of all, ew. Everything about this paused. The man bun being tied up and the sides not being shaved looks gross. The eyebrows are taking up half of my already very large forehead. I would love to know where I got trio chrome from, because the only color that I'm seeing here is green. But then again, that could be the fact that I was literally using one light to shoot this video that cost me $50 from Amazon. My nose, because of the contour, looks like it's about a good inch thick. So we love that. And my top lip is not there. Oh my God, I forgot I have lip filler. Oh my God, this is why. Want to see how to recreate this makeup look? Okay. Make sure to keep on watching. Hi guys, I'm gonna be starting off today using my Benefit Porefessional Primer. I have a million little bumps and pores all over my face, so doing this will really help me smooth everything out and get an even foundation application. Next, I'm going into my LA Girl Pro Color Correcting Concealer in orange, just to color correct my 5 o'clock shadow and my— I literally cannot even tell you the last time I color corrected my face. I feel like there were so many makeup trends, one of them being color correcting, that were like so big at one point that now literally nobody talks about. If you don't have this problem, obviously don't color correct because this is not pumpkin glam, but if you're like me and you get negative 15 hours of sleep, this might be for you. I also color corrected my acne spots using a green color corrector, also from LA Girl, and then blended it out with my Beauty Blender. Or just use a full coverage foundation. I'm going with my Makeup Forever HD Ultra Foundation in the shade Y255 and just putting a bunch of little dots all over my face. Obviously, we're going to blend these out later on, but it just helps create a really even application. That is yellow. That is literally yellow. Nothing has changed. I still can't match my foundation, but good Lord. We want a smooth transition, and the last thing we need is Moses parting the foundation C on your face. is the funniest person since sliced bread. Oh my god, I literally thought I was YouTube's next comedian. What is going on? To highlight my face, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Porcelain.
Whoa.
I'm drawing little triangles on my face, in the middle of my forehead, in the middle of my chin, on my mustache area, and just one line down the center of my nose. This will just make all the high points of my face stand out. And then once again, blending it out with my beauty blender. Now I'm setting my entire face using Coty Airspun powder because I'm done with the liquids and creams.
This is back. Coty Airspun powder. Let me tell you, great powder if you need to literally lock in your makeup for the next 8 years. This is what created Flashback Mary. That's all I need to say on that. I don't think I need to elaborate any further.
Help to set everything in place and to reduce creasage. To further highlight my face, I'm going to use my Morphe E48 brush and this light color from my Lunatic Cosmetics.
That's before I had a coupon code. Huh, gonna put it in there now. Use code James for 10% off. Oh my god, I didn't even have code James then. This is so crazy.
Contour Lab. This color usually comes in the contour palette, but I actually depotted it and just put it in my Z palette with all my other contour and highlight shades. Once again, I'm just putting this.
Remember when Z palettes were a thing and everybody used to have like their little custom shadows in their palette that they'd bring everywhere? Does anybody even still do that? Oh, nobody uses Z palette because they had their scandal. Moving on, oops.
And I'm going on my cheekbones, my 5-head, and on my jawline.
Still hated the 5-head. Then and today, nothing has changed. Woo, at least we found one similarity.
Next, to further define my contour, I'm using the same brush as before and Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear. It is an eyeshadow, but I never use blush in my look, so this really helps to just warm everything up.
If you've been in the makeup community for a very long time, you are probably very familiar with Makeup Geek shadows because everybody had pretty much their entire line. Makeup Geek shadows are some of the first ones that I ever ordered when I started doing makeup. The shadow that I just used, Cocoa Bear, was one of my all-time favorites for brown smoky eyes. And I just used it to contour my face. I know you can't really tell because the lighting is the worst. I'm already looking yellow because of the foundation. My contour is orange.
Now to start the eyes. I did my brows off camera just because I tried and the angles turned out so bad. I promise I will do a proud tutorial.
Yeah, of course the angles are gonna turn out that bad when your brows look that ugly. Oh my god. I cannot believe that these eyebrows literally were once mine. They still are not perfect now. Like they could, I'm sure, be a whole lot better. With the amount of hate comments that I got on my eyebrows on a daily basis, which was an alarming amount for any 16-year-old kid to be dealing with. I don't know how it took me that long to fix them. The first bagel convention I ever went to, I waited in line for over an hour to the meet and greet for Anastasia Beverly Hills. And she had been following me and she was like, oh my god, James, I recognize you. And I was literally fangirling, so excited. And she literally looked me right in the eyes and said,
you need to fix your eyebrows, they're horrible.
I swear to God, I wish I was kidding. And in that moment, I had such a big ego this time. I was like, oh, please. And she literally sat there and was like, no, you really need to tweeze off like the entire bottom portion and like lift them up. And I was like, oh, please, lady, they look fine. Imagine if I had listened sooner, we wouldn't have even had to deal with this issue. Although the hate sucked at the time, thank you. Honestly, truly from the bottom of my heart, to everyone who ever left a hate comment on my eyebrows, I needed this. Like, that's what they look like right there.
For this entire look, I used my Morphe 35K palette. Since the
I
shades
still love
don't
that
have
palette.
ash. To further define that halo eye, I'm using my Morphe M441 and once again just a medium brown tone from the 35K palette. I'm putting that in the inner and outer V's of the eyes and then just taking whatever excess product is left and going in windshield wipers just to define that crease.
Okay, honestly, not gonna lie, my tutorial skills back then, although it may not have looked pretty, were pretty decent. Like, I will say now, I definitely get a lot of comments complaining that I skip through everything, which I definitely do. But like, kind of doing a good job of it explaining everything here, making sure it's like visually all the right angles. Good job, 16-year-old me.
In the waterline, I'm just going in with the Italia Deluxe Eye Pencil in turquoise. I got this at the Morphe store. If you don't have this eye pencil, you can easily just do black. It's really up to you, but I wanted another pop of color on the bottom. I actually lost the clip, but I did use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Black Bean just to mimic the halo effect that we have going on the upper lid. And then once I did that, I'm just going back under the lower lash line to blend everything out and connect it back up to the top.
That was the longest sentence I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh, wait, whoa!
In the waterline, I'm just going in with the Italia Deluxe Eye Pencil in turquoise. I got this at the Morphe store. If you don't have this eye pencil, you can easily just do black. It's really up to you, but I wanted another pop of color on the bottom. I actually lost the clip, but I did use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Black Bean just to mimic the halo effect that we have going on the upper lid. And then once I did that, I'm just going back under the lower lash line to blend everything out and connect it back up to the top.
Oh my god, Queen of Run-On Sentences. How did I...
The speech patterns really have not changed in the slightest bit.
I'm just going in now with my favorite mascara, Benefit Roller Lash. It's so good and makes my eyelashes look so long and not clumpy, so I would definitely recommend. I
Still
applied my
love that
falsies
mascara.
off camera today. I used the Black Magic Lashes in Siren. I ended up gluing my eye shut when I tried to do it on camera, so definitely not going to do that again. Anyway, lesson learned.
That is true. I've talked about this a few times before, but when I first started doing makeup, I could not glue on eyelashes to save my life. Probably because my eyebrows were taking up half of my eye, so I literally could get no room in there. And every time that I tried, I glued my eye shut. Wish I was kidding. I'm not.
To highlight, I'm just spritzing my brush again with Max Fix Plus to make it super defined and then mixing these two colors from my Anastasia Glow Kit. Now we pack that highlight on like there's no tomorrow. Remember, the goal is that your highlight can be seen from space and that you blind everybody walking by.
Okay, we get it, sweetie.
I always highlight my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, and my cupid's bow just because I think it looks cute.
I am scared at the size of a brush I just used to highlight my nose. Oh my god. This is why my nose looks like it is an inch wide.
For my lips today, I'm using Ofra Brooklyn. You guys always ask what liquid lipsticks I like best, and they're definitely Ofra. The formulation is so good, and they don't dry crusty and gross like so many other brands do.
True. I still stand by this, and I love the Ofra liquid lipsticks. They're by far my favorite formula of all time. Also, peep the coupon code. Must have been Ofra first. This one was code J Charles, but now it's code James. It gets you 30% off still to this day. My poor top lip. Where was I even putting the lipstick at this point? Like,
As an optional last step, I went ahead and I added Houdini all over my lips just for a cool duochrome effect.
Oh.
And that, guys, is the finished look.
Bad
I really hope
choice.
you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!
well, that was 7 minutes of my life that I will never get back. Looking back at these videos for me is literally so crazy. I cannot believe it's already been almost 3 years since I started doing this. Like, it feels like it was yesterday, but at the same time, this person feels foreign. Like, who is she? Like, the gray hair, the man bun, the big nose contour, the non-existent top lip, the eyebrows, like, wow. I'm really thankful for both the positivity and also the negativity on YouTube over the past few years because it's made me a way more confident person, a way more comfortable person, a way happier person, and also, I will say this with confidence, a way better looking person as well. Thank God for this glow up. Personality aside though, the makeup in this video, I'm horrified. I actually don't think there was a single product or technique, honestly, that I still use in my everyday makeup routine. Now that we've gotten watching this out of the way, thank God. I have all my favorite makeup products here that I now use on an everyday, daily basis, and I wanna try to recreate the same exact look, but actually make it look really, really bomb, really, really beautiful, and hopefully actually show up and look nice in a good studio setup. So let's get glam. All right, so starting off my routine today, I am not going to be color correcting. I have probably not color corrected honestly, probably since that video. So for foundation today, I'm gonna go into the Born This Way foundation from Too Faced. You guys know this is my all-time holy grail favorite. In the original video, I was using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD liquid foundation, which I actually think is kind of funny because if you know me and even around for a very, very long time, you know that before Born This Way, I was actually using the Makeup Forever stick foundation, and that was kind of like my holy grail that I used forever. So I don't even know why I was using the liquid version in that video because I genuinely cannot ever remember liking that, but guess I did, so. Then to blend this in, I'm just gonna be using the Morphe Contour Highlighting Sponge. I absolutely love this one. If you wanna get this, use code James for 10% off. Putting it in now since I apparently couldn't 3 years ago. Is that a good shade match? I still can't tell. Literally 3 years later, I still don't know how to match my foundation. Once I have foundation all over my actual face, I'm gonna grab just a big fluffy foundation brush and dip into the same color and just blend this all down my neck. Apparently I did not know how to do that 2 years ago, despite the fact that I literally made a joke about Moses parting the foundation C. Still couldn't match it, so I'm gonna make sure that no matter what color my face is today, my neck is the same shade. For concealer today, no surprises here. I'm just gonna grab my Shape Tape Concealer. This one's gonna be in the shade Fair, and I also have the shade Light Natural to mix together as well because this one is a little bit light. Definitely do not want to be Flashback Mary, that is for sure. I think in the original video, I was using the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I actually still like that concealer a lot, but Shape Tape is definitely a lot more full coverage. The one thing that I probably changed the most in like my makeup process, aside from my eyebrows, of course, is probably my base routine, which I'm really, really thankful for. I used to use a super full coverage foundation and super full coverage concealer and then pack it on with Coty Airstone powder, which looked really nice, of course, for like Instagram pictures, which is literally the only thing that I was doing. But once I actually started wearing makeup out though, and like actually being in the real world and taking selfies and looking in mirrors, I quickly realized how disgusting it looked because it was so incredibly cakey. And the one change that I really made now is I definitely prefer a really light coverage foundation, but just a more full coverage coverage concealer so I can really focus the coverage in the areas that I need it and actually let my normal skin shine through. I've worked really, really hard to clear out my skin and have good skin, and I definitely like to show it off, and I think it just looks a lot better, a lot more natural as well. So definitely like my base routine now a million times more. All right, so everything is blended in, but I'm looking a little bit light. I'm sister spooked for sure. I want to set my face in place and add some dimension back as quickly as possible. So for today, I'm going to go into the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. Unlike the Coty Airstone powder, it's actually not ridiculously drying. It's definitely more of like a light coverage powder. I actually really like the fact that this kind of wears down a little bit throughout the day. Call me crazy, but my favorite time of like makeup is probably like 2 to 3 hours after wear, when it's still looking really, really beautiful, but by that time, some of your like natural oils have kind of seep through. Ew, that sounds really gross. I just like it to look a little bit more worn in. I feel like it looks much more natural, and it kind of gets rid of that like vanilla cake mix type of look. So this powder is definitely my all-time favorite to achieve that look. Before I actually move on to the next step, I'm gonna grab the Morphe Prep and Set Setting Spray. I really, really love this because it has such a fine mist. So I always use this in between the steps of my makeup routine whenever I apply a lot of powder to just kind of lock everything more in place, add a little bit of hydration back, and that really prevents the cakiness that the other routine would have given. So next I'm gonna contour my face, and guess what I'm not gonna use? An orange eyeshadow. Today I have with me my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I do have an orange in here, but this I use for blush. So I'm just gonna grab my Morphe M405 brush and dip into this cool tone right here on the bottom corner, and I'm gonna use this to just chisel out my features. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a light hand with this as well. I know by some miracle, the contour in the video ended up looking like okay, but I remember taking so many photos a long time ago where my contour literally looked like a stripe down my cheekbones. It was so ugly. Probably because I was using a dark burnt orange eyeshadow for that, but I just want to use a light hand and really use this contour to chisel out my natural features and not literally create new ones, because that's not the point and it really does not look good, ever. Definitely still gonna minimize the 5 head though. Definitely gonna contour out my jawline as well. The one thing that I noticed in that video, oh my god, my jawline definitely looked better 2 years ago than it did now. How did that even happen? That is literally so unfair. I'm calling the police. I'm next gonna grab the M527, which is a bigger fluffy brush, and dip into this kind of more warm tone caramel shade right next door. And I'm gonna use this as kind of like a bronzer shade, just to blend together my natural skin tone and my contour. And then for my nose contour, I'm gonna grab my JD Wady 182 brush and dip into that middle shade in the contour palette once again. If you've been around for a long time, you would know that my nose contour has really had quite the journey. Clearly with this video, I did not know how to do it, period. So that was great and scary. Then I got really, really good at it. And now actually recently, I haven't even been contouring my nose as much, and I've really learned to embrace it a little bit more. Kind of fun. Love that journey. Regardless, I'm still gonna contour it today, and I'm gonna make it not look an inch long because that looked bad. So let's do that. I'm gonna make sure to place those two contour lines pretty close together and blend them out. And when it comes to highlighting them later, I'm not gonna use a big brush, and hopefully that'll help the illusion actually exist. Next, of course, you guys know comes blush, and for today I'm gonna be using the MAC blush in the shade Peaches. Funny enough, in this video, and actually for majority of my makeup career, I did not use a blush because I said that I didn't like it. For the longest time, I really felt as though like my cheekbones were for some reason too high and that I couldn't fit blush on there. I really don't know where this thought process came from. It was truly so stupid, but in my head, when I first started doing makeup, the only blush color that existed was bright pink, which I hated. So finding Peaches for me was like a full-on like holy grail revival moment, and now I love blush. Once again, before I move on to the next step, I'm just gonna do a light spritz of the Morphe Prep and Set Setting Spray. Before I move on to the next step, I am still going to bake my face, but I'm just gonna bake it lightly as opposed to using a powder puff and Airspun like before. I'm just gonna grab my same beauty blender and dip into the peach setting powder and just place this lightly underneath any areas that I have contour, just to bring some of the highlights back. By using a beauty blender, I'm really melting the product into the skin, which is actually so much better when it comes to creasing and bringing highlights back, as opposed to a powder puff, which literally just makes the powder sit right on top. While that bakes in place on my face, love all those rhymes that just happened right there. Next, I'm gonna move on to my brows. Now, you guys know, just like the original video, I still to this day usually skip the brow process and do them off camera because I don't like the angles of it. But you know what? In honor of today's video, I thought it'd be so much fun to celebrate my brow transformation, God bless, and do a little bit of a brow routine for you guys because I've not done one in a very, very long time. So why not? To start off my brows today, I'm gonna use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Medium Brown. I really like using a brow pencil, mainly because a dip brow is what got me into the whole James Charles brick Sharpie brow from before, but that's my fault for using it way too heavy-handed. But that's why I really like a pencil, because you can either use it really, really lightly to create those little hair-like strokes in the front of the brow, or you can actually really press down and layer it on and give it a much more defined look. You really get the best of both worlds. So I'm gonna go right in, and I'm gonna first start off by using a spoolie and just to brush the hairs upwards to see where my actual brow is. And then I always like to go in and start off with the tail first. I'm honestly really not sure why. Probably because my original brow tail literally used to end like here and I'm like triggered over it. So I always try to make sure that it's in the right place first before anything else gets put on there. But I just like to draw that little point and then follow it up to the top. Then I always like to define the lower arch and bring it in. I'm holding the pencil so lightly when I do this as well, literally applying like no pressure at all. Once I get to the front of the brow, I'm just going to flick the pencil upward to kind of create the illusion of hair strokes. I always like to put the hair strokes in place first, and it's okay if it looks a little bit messy. Of course, I'm gonna go in with concealer after and clean everything up. Once the bottom of the brow is all taken care of, it is truly all smooth sailing from here. I really just like to get that over with first because once again, it can really make or break the brow, and I definitely did not want to go back to straight brow from before. So then once that's all in place, I literally just take the pencil and I kind of follow from this area right here that is really dense, and I literally just start to draw in super light hair strokes, and I'm filling in as I go as well. And then all I do literally once I get right here is just go like whoop. And that's it. So that is the brow all filled in, and it's looking pretty good so far, but it definitely needs to be cleaned up quite a lot. So next I'm just gonna grab that same exact concealer from before and put a little dollop on the back of my hand. And then just grabbing my super flat MAC 242 brush, I'm gonna dip right in and I'm gonna use this to clean up the bottom of my brow. For me, my brush automatically goes right to the arch. Then I always pull it right out underneath the tail. And then with any excess product, I just bring that right down to the front. Oh, there we go. See? Stunty. Then I'm just gonna use any excess product on that brush and tap it into my eyelid to act as an eyelid primer. To get it ready for eyeshadow, I'm just gonna grab my Morphe E20 brush and dip into, once again, that same exact setting powder and just lightly place this right on top. When it comes to the setting powder, just like my face, I'm actually not gonna like really set it in there just because eyeshadows tend to stick better and be a lot more pigmented when they're kind of blended over something a little bit tacky. And now we are officially ready to recreate this blue, green, brown, trio chrome serpent. Okay, so for the eyeshadow look today, I don't actually have like a clear image of what I want to do, which is pretty rare for me. I usually have like a vision and then just go right in. But being that the original look was so bad and also so poorly documented because of the lighting, I don't even know what this was supposed to look like. So I'm just gonna like throw something together that would remind me now of like serpent. Well, even like why would I don't even know why I did that. I think I'm just gonna start off doing this eye look in the same order as the original video and see where it goes. I'm gonna start off by grabbing my Morphe M433 and just dipping into a light cool tone brown shade and just putting that right in the crease. And I'm just going to blend this very lightly. I'm gonna grab the M511 and put more of that on there because I have a feeling that this is gonna get pretty dark. Now I'm gonna grab the M433 again and dip into a little bit of a darker tone brown. I'm gonna place that in the crease to add a little bit more dimension into this. I literally don't know what I want to do for this eyeshadow look. I know in the original it looked like I was using a like teal aqua metallic shade all over the lid, and then I put like a metallic light green in the center, but then I called it blue somewhere. What? There was blue in the waterline. I'm just going in pretty lightly and using back and forth motions, using the excess product that's still left on this brush, just to make sure that there's an even transition between that light brown and the darker brown shade. It's looking pretty good so far, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so. I'm gonna grab the M170-8 brush. It's literally just a tiny little concealer brush, and dip into a metallic, like aqua watery looking shade. Oh, that's pretty. OT, that looks good. Okay. Gonna place this over here as well. I guess I'm just gonna fill this into and layer the blue over top. I'm just gonna mix together a dark blue and a dark green and put this right up in here to blend this together because I don't want this halo eye to be like really cut. So this will mix that brown and the blue together. I really should have done this before placing that metallic shade on there because now this metallic shade is gonna get in the crease, but everybody makes mistakes and this original look was one of them. So before I move on to the rest of this halo eye, I'm gonna grab that dark brown shade again and just go right over that little area because that blending is scary. Oh, that looks way better. Great. Moving on, let's forget about that, please. Okay, so now I need to make the halo eye look like an actual halo eye, duh. So I'm gonna grab an E37. It's actually a little liner brush. I know most people like to use a little packer brush for their halo eyes, but for some reason I have like this weird flap of skin that covers my inner corner. Really rude, really annoying. Did not ask for it to be there. But I really need to like tuck that shadow into that region. So what I'm gonna do is grab the dark blue and the dark green, once again, that I just used to darken the crease, and place that right up in there. I'm gonna pull that right in on top of that metallic shade. Oh yeah, this looks good. And I'm just gonna pull that color combo into like a V shape in the outer corner. You guys know I love really winging out my shadow. Even honestly for like a round look like a halo eye, I'll still wing it out just a little bit. For some reason, round eye looks just really do not flatter my face shape, so just gonna wing it out for a real one. Gonna grab that dark brown once again, and I'm going to go over that outer edge and blend that because it's already looking ugly and I don't wanna make it look any worse. I'm now gonna grab an M124 brush and I'm gonna dip into a lighter aqua shade. And I'm gonna put this, after spritzing it, right on the center of the lid to further accentuate the halo moment. Okay, that I'm happy with, woo! God bless. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the shadow how it is because at this point, I am horrified at making this look worse. I cannot have my 3-year anniversary video be equally as bad as the first one. So what I am going to do though is grab the Urban Decay liner in the shade Distortion. It is like this bluey green purple glitter moment. It's a serpent. And I'm just gonna put this glitter right on that cut crease moment to really make it shine. And I'm gonna pull that right down as well, right into the center of that halo eye. I'm gonna grab this powder brush and dust off the fallout because there's a lot of it for some reason. Now for the lower lash line, I think I'm going to mimic the halo onto the lower lash line as well. It's been a long day. I'm first gonna grab this brush, this is the M149, and I'm going to tap into the dark blue and green shades once again and put those right up against the lash. And then I'm just gonna use that same fluffy brush from before and grab the light brown shade and go right below that lightly, just connecting that outer V transition color right into the blue, just to tie everything together. Gonna put the same aqua shade on the lower lash line as well. Then just gonna place that teal shade right in the middle. Then just grabbing a little bit of the Mermaids pigment from Peaches Makeup, one of my all-time favorite brands when it comes to glitters and pigments, and popping that right in the center. Oh, that's pretty. Wow, one thing goes right. Okay, so next I want to highlight my brow bone in the inner corner just to add more dimension to this eye look. So I'm going to grab the Tarte pigment in the shade Top Yacht. I absolutely love this for highlighting. It's literally one of the brightest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm going to place that right in there. Oh, so pretty. Okay, then right on the brow bone. For lashes, of course, you guys should know at this point, I'm gonna use my all-time favorites, Lily Lashes in the style of Miami. You can use code James for 15% off your purchase at Lily as well. But I am going to trim them first to avoid the whole wonky lash situation and gluing my eye shut because that is not fun. So what I'm gonna do is just grab these with a pair of tweezers and I'm gonna cut off a spike from each end just so they fit my eyes a little bit better. Then I'm gonna apply a light layer of the Duo Brush On Glue. And then while that's getting tacky, I'm gonna pop on a really light coat of the MAC Extended Play Mascara. And then looking in my mirror from right below, I'm gonna hold this lash up and I'm gonna plop it right onto my lash line. Finishing it off with a little bit of mascara right on the lower lash line. That was quite the journey. There was lots of bumps in the road, but we got there in the end. Are we looking the best? No. Are we looking okay? That's for you to decide. But regardless, that is one blue, green, and brown trio chrome serpent eye all complete. I'm now going to do the other one off camera so I don't literally die in the next few minutes, and I'll be right back to finish out the rest of this look. Be right back. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of this look before I decide that I hate it again. I'm first gonna start off by just wiping away this bake. It's been sitting here for like literally 8 hours now while I finished those eyes. And I'm also gonna wipe off the excess underneath my eyeballs as well. So our next step is going to be our highlighter, but before we do that, once again, I'm gonna grab my trusty Prep and Set setting spray and just melt everything together. And this also is gonna make the highlighter stick a whole lot more too, so we get that really blinding glow. And for my highlighter today, I'm gonna grab not a large brush. This is the M501 great highlighter brush that won't ruin my entire face of makeup. And I'm just going to dip into my highlighter, pop that right on the cheekbone. And now for the nose highlight. What I'm going to do is not grab a large fluffy brush. This is the E36. It is a tiny pencil brush, and I'm going to use this to highlight the tip of my nose. Wow, look at that. So tiny, so beautiful, and not an inch wide. That is how a nose highlight is supposed to look. Okay, so for our last step, we have the lips. Now, in my original video, I did a chocolate brown lip with a green and blue pigment over top. Sorry, we're not doing that today because that looked disgusting. So what I'm going to do instead is pick a lip that is much more flattering to this look. a nude. I'm gonna start by lining them using my all-time favorite lip liner. This is from ColourPop X I Love Side E in the shade Curvy. And then over top, I'm gonna grab the Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade Stripped and just put that right in the middle. And while I definitely do not want to put on a blue-green pigment, what I am gonna do just to finish off the lip today is add on a tiny bit of gloss right in the center, just to give it a little bit more dimension. All right, you guys, we're gonna finish it off with some Sister Setting Spray one last time, just to lock everything in place. And finally, that is the completed blue, brown, green serpent makeup look by J. Charles Beauty. 3 hours later, I have finally been able to show you guys 3 years worth of skill improvement, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. This look was quite a little bit of a roller coaster to go through, but then again, the original look was really neither good nor fresh, so I still feel like in the end we came up with a really beautiful look, and I actually like how this turned out a lot. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video too, and a little trip down memory lane. I cannot believe I've been doing this job for 3 long years, but you guys truly do such an amazing job at always making me feel like I just started yesterday. I mean, seriously, the saying time flies when you're having fun, I think really applies here. Thank you for making the last 3 years so amazing and so memorable. Thank you guys always for all your constant love and support. It truly means so much to me, and it does not go unnoticed. If you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane and you also like my updated version of my serpent makeup look, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up down below, and also come subscribe and join the sisterhood by clicking that big red button down below, and click the bell icon so you can get a notification every time I upload a brand new video. If you'd like to follow me on my makeup journey, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They're both just James Charles, and my Snapchat for more behind the scenes side stuff is James Charles with an extra S after Charles. This video's sister shout out goes to sister Carly. Thank you so much, love, for always following and supporting. You know I love you literally so much. And if you would like to be the next video's sister shout out, don't forget to always retweet my video links when they go live on Twitter. Alright sisters, thank you so much for watching this video today. Thank you endlessly for the last 3 years of my life. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!